Glad you're here at Dread Next Door. Lock your doors, because today's story is particularly disturbing. I still remember the day I moved into my dream home, a sprawling, modern farmhouse on the outskirts of town, surrounded by lush green forests that seemed to whisper secrets to each other in the wind. The house was perfect, with large windows that let in plenty of natural light, a beautiful garden, and a porch where I could sit and watch the stars at night. But what drew me to this place the most was its isolation. It was far enough from the nearest neighbor that I could barely see their house from mine, a solitude I craved. The first few weeks were blissful. I'd wake up early, watch the sunrise over the trees, spend my days writing, and my evenings reading on the porch. But as time passed, I started to notice little things. At first, it was just a feeling of being watched, which I attributed to the vast openness of the land. Then, I began to hear noises at night, small creaks and groans of the house settling, or so I told myself. It wasn't until I found the first gift that I realized I wasn't alone. It was a small, leather-bound book, placed neatly on my desk. The book was old, its pages yellowed with age, and it smelled of decay and forgotten memories. As I flipped through its pages, I found that it was filled with handwritten notes, poems, and short stories. They were beautiful, haunting, and they spoke to me on a level that few things ever have. But what really caught my attention was the last page, where a message was written in elegant, cursive script, "Welcome home." I was both intrigued and terrified. Who was this person, and how did they know me well enough to leave me something so personal? I tried to brush it off as a prank, but the feeling of being watched intensified. I started to vary my routine, hoping to catch a glimpse of my mysterious benefactor, but there was never anyone. Days turned into weeks, and the gifts continued to appear. There were more books, a painting that seemed to match the mood of the forest outside, and even a small, antique music box that played a melody I'd never heard before but felt deeply connected to. Each gift was accompanied by a note, always signed with a simple "A." The notes were personal, speaking directly to my fears, hopes, and dreams. They were so insightful that it felt like it knew me better than I knew myself. I was torn between gratitude and fear. The gifts stopped as suddenly as they started. For a few weeks, there was silence. But then, one night, I woke up to the sound of my bedroom window opening. I lay there, paralyzed with fear, as the window creaked shut and footsteps echoed outside my room. I knew then that I wasn't alone in the house. The footsteps were light, cautious, but they were definitely there. For what felt like hours, I lay there, waiting for something to happen. But there was only silence. The next morning, I decided I had to do something. I couldn't just sit around waiting for it to make their next move. I started by inspecting the house, looking for any sign of how I was getting in. The windows and doors were all locked, and I found no signs of forced entry. The forest was dense, the trees towering above me like sentinels. The ground beneath my feet was soft, covered in a thick layer of dead leaves that crunched with each step. As I walked deeper into the woods, the silence began to feel heavy, oppressive. I could feel eyes on me, and the skin on the back of my neck crawled. And then, everything went black. When I came to, I was back in my bed, with no memory of how I got there. The room was exactly as I had left it, except for a small note on my nightstand. It read, "I've been waiting for you." If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales. Drop a comment below telling us your personal experience. Until next time, sleep tight.